That should be good enough. Okay, I'm back. I got everything. I am in good shape. About the only thing I did off camera is that I prepared for the next couple of steps just to make sure I was all good. But I forgot some of the accent colors because I printed out the accent colors to work with. So I just went back and kind of swapped out a couple parts real quick just to be safe and to keep the aesthetics, as it were. So, yay! That's the only thing that the file names tell you if it's an accent or not, but they don't list the file names in the manual. So you kind of just have to know. That's all. No big deal. And as of right now, I am there. That's the step I'm on today. But you know, hey, I got a little sleep last night. I should be able to keep on going. Yay! And I even got the other camera so you can see my good side. So there we go. Now we're on to the Z Idler fun. Yay, party time. And I'm going to set the keyboard kind of over here just so I can work a little bit easier. I do like that someone actually took the time and they modeled in little frowny eyes. I mean, that took some extra skill. That's just a detail. That's just an adorable detail. All right, so not gonna lie, that was cute. Somebody had fun with that one. All righty, let's find it. Where's my M3? I got my knurls. Hex nuts, there we go. Pour that out right there because that makes the most sense. The M316s don't need that many, so I'm gonna set them right up there. That'll be fun. Actually, you know what? Screw it. M316s. And I'll hide it right there. And now it's all labeled. That's organized, baby. All right. Get that little hex nut all the way in there correctly. Nice. Okay. Well, there's the backstory. That's just as good a reason as any. All righty. I'm going to loosen this all the way out. And there we go. Slip, 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 slip. Now the M530s. And there's my idlers. Now, once again, they are doing the one thing that I don't like, which is relying on plastic to put threads in. I'm just not a fan of that. I never have been. I know it's not a big deal and it doesn't really hurt anything, yada, yada, yada. But it's a personal thing. Wait a second. Ooh, squeaky, squeak, squeak, squeak. That, I need to go get the two wire. 1 second, I grabbed the wrong parts. Stop it. Stop it. There we go. Now I got the right parts. All righty. There was 2 different sizes for these, and I needed the 9s. There we go. Now we're back on track. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Squeak, 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 squawk, squawk, squawk. Like nails on a chalkboard. Spin, spin, spin. Yeah, that's where I screwed up. There's also a 6mm version of these. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, oh well. And that's where I screwed up. But I did print enough of both, so I'm all set. It'll all be good. And I caught it early. So I didn't waste any time. I can just keep working my way through all this fun. And now, another bolt. And the idler. So yeah, it's 9mm for all the Z and 6mm for everything else. Which is smart. That's a good call. Expands out the bill of materials a bit, but hey, it's a good call to make. I think if I was trying to do this as a commercial product, that I would go back and say, just make everything 9mm. It will be less of a problem. All right. But since this is not a extremely mass commercial product, I think it's perfectly fine. Make sure I get that little bit of adjustment out of that. I think the nut's not quite sitting all the way in, so there we go. That will give a little bit of adjustment that I all want. Now the button head. Now, why is that not giving as much? me look in here. I feel like it's not adjusting as much as it can. There we go. I was just a little bit too tight. So is it just you, Mitchell, today? Is anybody else hanging out right now? I know it's middle of the day, kind of Sunday on Labor Day weekend, which I would expect a lot of people, you know, be out at the beach, doing some barbecue stuff, partying it up, having a good time. Nice. 800 hours of print time, not actual build time, right? Oh yeah, that's right. I think Steve. Oh, Steve's streaming too. Well, there's your winner. That's why I don't have anybody hanging out in here. It's all Steve today. That's okay. See, people like Steve and Nero and stuff like that, they rely on the streams for their actual income to some degree. And you'll notice that my stream, there's no donate buttons, and really don't even set it up to, you know, like and subscribe and get money for views. I don't monetize anything. And it's kind of like, you know, I feel if I tried to monetize it, then I truly would be in a conflict of interest category. Now, if I made a retro computer channel and monetize that, then I don't think I would have a problem. I think morally I would be sound. But I just don't have the time to launch a channel on some other topic. Oh, look, they want me to put all that in with M530s. Look at all those M530s. Well, it's going to be a good little angle for everybody. There we go. You can see me hunched over. So that goes just like that. Well, there's also this really nice factor of, you know, if somebody else is watching and they've done it, if I start, you know, getting confused or whining and complaining and get all judgmental, they usually can set me straight. And in all honesty, if I wasn't streaming, I would just be putting on a bunch of music and just kind of rocking out. I'd probably lose my voice from, you know, when I belt out lines from the songs or whatever. And then that is definitely something you don't want to see. And it's definitely some streaming you don't want to have. Because karaoke and me don't get along. I just don't have the singing voice for it. But it wouldn't stop me. So keep me sober and away from a karaoke machine is the advice that I would give anybody. that ever wanted to take me out. That would be my advice. There would be issues. There would be concerns. There would probably be lawsuits about mental anguish by people who actually were listening at the time I was trying to sing. Look at that. Get my Z idlers up there all nice and high. Going nice and fast and easy. It's a funny truth I've always found in every printer I've ever built. The first half goes really fast, and then the second half goes way slow, because that's when you start getting into the small parts and the finer details and the extra tuning and everything like that. But then after that's done, the problem you run into is you start working on electronics. That tends to go fast. I always find it's okay there, but it's the after you get past electronics and you're in the firmware and you're tweaking and tuning and you're just going and playing. So I kind of consider a build done as soon as you can print a benchy and then just ignore the rest of tuning until after this done, because then you can just spend the rest of your life tuning that printer until you're blue in the face. Let's see if I can get that. There we go. Look at that. Like butter. Oh, look, the crimping and all that stuff. Oh my gosh, yeah. That can drag on forever. But I must admit, when it comes to wiring, the crimping and the testing and soldering and all that stuff, I get very zen then. I actually enjoy that part of the work. I get very, it's very relaxing. It's very peaceful. The only thing I can't do without being, the only cable that I always get stressed when I'm making is Ethernet cables. I think it's just because it hurts my hands so much. I've never had good luck with Ethernet cables. And I always felt that they always hurt my hands, and so. You know, as far as which probe, I am doing whichever one came with the LDO kit. I forgot which one it was. I forgot which one it is. I want to loosen these up slightly because there's a little bit of friction. And I want to make sure that all of the blocks are dropped so that I'll get good tension out of the belts later when I tighten them up. All right, the rest look like they're dropped. Oh, it came with both, huh? I don't know. I haven't really looked at the probes yet. So I'll have to check. So now I'm on to putting the bed on, but I have to admit this. If you're going to go through it, most of the stuff was already done by LDO. It's like, just go and bolt it down. You'll be good. So they've already done the bed. And pretty much all I need to do is throw on the grounding wire. And it's done. So I'm going to be able to skip quite a few pages. And I do have to admit, I'm kind of looking forward to this because this, almost every printer I work on, the bed moves in some way, but not this one. So surprise! So I get to have fun with that. And when I first pulled the bed out, my mind immediately went, what am I supposed to do with those short cables? That won't be enough. And then I immediately went, wait, it's a 2.4. It's all good. We're fine. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. We're all good. I'm going to turn this around to the front just because that's where they got their measurements on all this stuff. So if I go back to that, boom, 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 I'm going to put the magnet on after I mount the bed. I'm going to skip that step for now. I know it's crazy. So M3 T-nuts. On the front. Good enough. Click in, come on. You can do it. I know you can. There we go. There we go. And they want 25 millimeters to the center of the hole from front of rail. That's easy enough. That looks good. That looks good. Beautiful. So the answer is yes. We are still going to be carrying Voron parts. there is no reason for us not to at this point. Unless the Voron guys don't like me anymore. But that will be there. I haven't heard anything about that. So the answer is yes. The Prusa deal was not to make me exclusively Prusa. So people shouldn't worry about that. There are companies I've had to drop because they didn't like that I was, sold to Prusa. Can't blame them. That's just how business works sometimes. But so far, Voron guys ain't got no problem. The only thing I have to worry about on the Voron front is that there are so many companies out there now carrying Voron parts and representing the products that it's kind of getting a little bit crowded, as I like to say. And that can create a problem. One, 2, 3, 4. Look at all those. Thanks, Dave. Coming along, making progress. I am getting there. All right, let's try this again. I find it weird that they're using all right, that is a different story. This is a 350 build. I found a weird problem. So, and I'll say this just for my own sanity, but on page 59, they want M3 16s into M3 trap nuts, and then use the M4 thumb screws, what I'm guessing as standoffs. But it looks like with the bed, the thickness of the bed, that this M316 just does not have enough thread to actually get through the thumb screw and to the nut. The M320 seems to be doing that. Hey, Maker Viking. So that is what I'm going to go with. I'm just going to use the M320s. And go around building this up. And that should take care of it. So yeah, I'm going to assume that it is just the M320, or that there's maybe LDOs use a thicker bed is the problem. Dan's come by. Hey, Dan. Hope you're doing well this fine Sunday. All right, they're all catching. They're all looking good. Feed the cables down the hole. It's all pretty and sexy now. There we go. Now to verify, they went 38 millimeters from front to plate. Ah, see, I haven't checked that one yet, so that's all it was. Good. Okay, at least it's there. So yeah, LDO mentions it in their build. I figure, there's going to be subtle little differences like that. That's to be expected. All right, that still looks good. But I want to check a couple more measurements before I tighten the bed down. Oh yeah, that is square. There we go. That is good. Now the next thing I want to do while I'm here give it a good old wipe down. Let that that settle in. And that way I can put the magnet on. Look how pretty that is. And I am going to start from this back corner. It should be physically the easiest. To get from there to there. All right. Corner stuck. All right, looking good. Looking good. The magnet is slightly bigger. So it's not a big ordeal. But the perfectionist in me is going to shave off that little hair. Just so the edge never catches. Just to be pretty. Nice, Bruce. Welcome. Thanks. Right, bye. Can have a good one. Yeah. It's so funny. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I was kind of shocked and taken aback by how much the community, or how much variety in the community people have with colors. You know, and how heavy that is, and how heavy that comes into play with 3D printers. I just never saw that coming. All right. Now it's all smooth to all the edges. So all good. M320s all set up there. I don't need those for a second, so I'm going to clean that up as I go. Now, I know it's going to be a while until I get to this cabling. So I'm going to wind it up just to get it out of the way. So so that I don't trip over it or drag it or scrape it or mess it up in some way. And I'll come back later and just cut that off when I'm ready to actually work. But this will keep it out of the way and make it so that I don't break any wires during the craziness of a build. You'd be flipping the printer around and completely forget, and it just happens that way. So tie those up, get it out of the way for now. I'll even trim it so I don't have the other ends. Or cut the zip ties if I don't have the other ends. Hey, welcome, John. Welcome. Yeah, I'm sad to hear you're not coming either. Dan, Earth is going to be a blast. It's long overdue here. Long overdue. All right, we got the AV drives and idlers to do next. So let me collect those parts up real quick. So there's 2 of those. Then 2 of these, which were accent pieces. And then I got a top and the bottom idler. Trying to match the parts to the parts. That is not it, is it? Yeah, that is it. All right. And I gotta find the base to these. All right, there's that base. I got so many 3D printed parts that that's going to take the longest time is finding the right pieces. All right, I think I got it. So I got the A and B idlers and all that goodness right there. So that should be my next phase of parts, right? Just kind of going through it and checking. Then I'm going to need some motors, and pulleys, and all that other junk, but one step at a time. You know, you would think that I think you would be correct, but I'm trying real hard to follow their build instructions. You know. So It'll be all their fault if I screw up because of their build instructions. Yeah, that's the story I'm going with. I'll get to blame them if I do it wrong. But it wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, in all honesty, it seems like that would be a near last step anyways. It would make more sense. But my guess is that they probably did that, and I'm only speculating here, it's because it would give a kind of a morale boost. Because it gives the illusion that you've done more than you've actually done. Good old more heat sets. Get those imprinted. Wait a minute, I'm confused. I'll set these first. Then I'll get confused later. There we go. I am only confused because I thought differently. So I'm not going to judge. I would have expected more heat insets. I'll go back here. Yeah, I would have expected more heat insets out of this. That's funky. Because it's got this kind of smooth side here. And that takes care of the A drive. And that takes care of the B drive. And I would have figured there would be a couple. I figured see, that makes sense there because, well, that doesn't make any sense there. Why are they doing that? I'm just exploring right now because I'm trying to figure out some, okay, those must be other mount points for other stuff to it. And then it's relying on everything to mount through. Okay, that one makes fine there. That makes fine there. I don't know what's going up there. All right. Trust. I'm not going to think ahead. One second. Hey, stop that. Don't lick your tail. You know better. Jesse's over there sitting on the side of the bench, chillaxing. But she's got a little sore spot on her tail, so she keeps licking it and making it worse. So I gotta go over there and stop her whenever I can catch her. Poor puppy. All right, so I got my shims. I need a 695 flanged bearings. There we go. Look at that. Pour some of those out because I'll be busy with those for a while. Go back to overhead so you guys can see what's going on. Now take it in 540. And that goes up through the slot. It gets one shim. Two bearings to make the little belt groove that everyone does. That makes it so popular these days. Then another stack. Then the cap. Don't like that lack of snap. So let's see, I might need to clean that up a little bit. I probably should have done that beforehand. Made sure the components mated before I tried to mate them. I think I got the tool of persuasion in this case. To coax them all together. Oh, okay, I see what's going on here. All right. Wondering why I was not sitting in there just right. There we go. That feels much better. I had one too many shims. Oh, this is the tricky part. So they want me So this is adorable. So I use the bolt to align it, but now I got to drop the bolt out and not move anything, and then slide this part on, and then slide the bolt back in. So I'm gonna have to be a little bit gentle here. Not move very much. All right, I did it, but I did it backwards, so that's okay. I'll just push the bolt through the other way. Okay. Oh, that is cute. So they're using a little slider mechanism here, and then they use the screw hole to tension. That is just adorkable. Now, I need to get my M5 nuts back. Where they go? M5 nuts. Okay. I'm on track here. I see what's going on. Just like the movie Frozen, I just have to let go and stop being like, oh, I know how it should be done, and go, let them tell me how it's supposed to be done. All right. There we go. That's sexy. That works. Now let me build the mirror of that. Yes, this is R2. Nice. Okay. Now that I got that, get an additional bolt. Slide this on in the right orientation. Then I'm going to carefully lift it out. Carefully slide it over. Try to get this through everything without any of the idlers falling out. Boom. All right. LDO, yep, this is LDO R2 V2. And I will be doing the stealth burner option as well. All right. All right, that one's done. Like butter. Now next they want me to use M340s. M340s, and I got some M3 washers somewhere, right? Yep, there we go. M340s and M3 washers. Now these bad boys are the belt tensioners. You can do it. Get through all that plastic. This is where an automated screwdriver would be nice for these long drives. But I will live with that. For now. All right, let's see. That works there. And this will work there, right? So there we go. 2 idlers done. Good to me. And then B idler was just a perfect mirror of that. So now we're on the M530s. Pour those out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check a few things, make sure that that is correct. That's how it should be. Take these M530s, push them through. That looks good. Looks like it's going on the right path. All right. Well, that is a bearing stack if I've ever seen a bearing stack. So I'm going to set that upside down now. And I'm going to do shim, shim, bearing, bearing, shim, shim, bearing, bearing, shim, 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 shimmy, shim, shim, shimmy, shim, shim, shiroo, bearing, bearing, shim. All right. So now for all intents and purposes, that should be it. Hold that back. Oops. Don't fall apart on me. And Once again, they're screwing into plastic. I'm just not a fan of that. Never have been. I know, it's fine, it works. I just not a fan. There we go. Another set, another bearing pack. All right. So I gotta go grab some motors, but what I'm going to do is I am going to take a short recess. So I will be back in give or take 4 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that, and then I'll check back in with you guys. All right, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I know, right? Now I was trying to get a few things done off camera while I get that taken care of. Sometimes I get a text message or something I gotta kind of respond to. Alrighty. Now I get to play with some motors. Yay! For the next set of motors, I already got the 4Z motors done. Now I get to do the set screws. Get those in just right. I'll be able to get a motor mounted here soon. I do like that the LDO guys, they have the little 3D printed jigs for measuring and all that stuff, so you're not spending all your time measuring stuff out. I thought that was really cute. This little piece right here. So you get your spacing just right. So set that up. Fully right side up. Let's get that flat edge facing towards me so that when I tighten, it'll all be in the right orientation. That's where they want it. That's where they want it, so that's where they'll get it. Make sure that that's right again. Beautiful. You couldn't get that better in Vegas. There we go. M330 socket heads. I thought I pulled those over. I guess I didn't. 330 socket heads. Let's get 4 of those bad boys out, or 3 of those bad boys. And let's assemble. Voron, assemble. So, would you call me a Voron fanboy? Here's the thing. I'm a fan of building printers. I love building printers. And right now, I think Voron has the most fun printers to build because you get a good product when you're done. They're doing a lot of interesting stuff. And so as you build it, it kind of gives you idea for other projects and try to look at how other people think and design stuff. And I actually like that. So I am a fanboy as far as I like the build process. I don't know if you could call me a fanboy that will be my everyday printer type of thing. That makes sense? So that desk lamp behind me is nothing fancy. Since I have, that's my normal little bench since I have all my scopes and monitoring and stuff, and I'm still blind as bats. All that's for is that I can come over here And this is one of those garage lights that have the little aimable LED panels off the side. And that's so I can get just a ton of light. And when I have to break out the magnifying glass or anything like that, that's why that's there. You know what, John? I have the Voron and I have the switch wire, and I use them every once in a while. Every once in a while I use them, but they're not my daily drivers. And I don't think it's just because they're crummy. It's just not my preference of a daily driver. They're not the printer that I go to and start that job I don't have to think about. They're just not that for me. They're the oh, I want to have some fun, or I want to 3D print, but I don't want what I'm 3D printing. I just want to 3D print. That's generally when I would break out like the Voron. When I'm doing something just for the sake of 3D printing, if that makes sense. So what printers do I have? I got them all, baby. So I had to start a company, or have to, own Printed Solid. It was cheaper to own the company than it was to buy the printers. But I still have some Ultimakers that I sport in the back. My go-to printer for the last, I'd say at least 2 years now, that is my, I want to print something and not think about it. It's still my Perusas, my MK3s. Those are the printers that that's when I want to print and I don't care about what, all that other junk. And darn it, I put one of the bearings in wrong. And it's going to be easier to just disassemble the whole thing and fix that. So yeah, I got a couple of Ultimakers. I got a couple of Perusas. I even got a CR30 sitting over in the corner. I got some craft bots sitting around. But yeah, I tend to jump over. That's how I tend to work. Now, I will say this. I printed all my Voron parts on the Ultimaker. One, because the Ultimaker is good at ABS. But two, I have a ton of 2.85 millimeter ABS. A ton. So, rather than a used filament that is very popular and everyone would be buying, I said, you know what? I'm just going to fire up the Ultimakers in the back and use up all that 3 millimeter filament. It also helped that I just had a ton of red 3 millimeter. Filament, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go default on this one. So this Voron is the very traditional palette. It should look kind of like, the photograph type of thing. The Craftbot, they have their place. I'm not overly fond of their slicer, but they have their place. They are not the most amazing printer, but they are a printer. I have to be politically correct about it, but you know, they have a spot, and once they get put into a workflow, I'd say they're pretty good. So it really, I really look at CraftBot as you just have to find the right customer. That's where CraftBot excels. When you find the right person, it's a great fit. And then there's Daniel. Hey, welcome, welcome. All right, where's my M330s again? I need 3 more of those. Let's have some more fun. Let's do the top part here. Have a good old time. Cable coming out that side, that's coming out that side, put that up there. That all lines up with the photograph. Let's put some screws in. We'll have some fun here. I've been wanting to do a printer build pretty much this whole year, but with the new house, the selling of the company, and everything else going on, I just haven't had much time. So I figured I'm going to take Labor Day weekend and I'm going to do some building. I'm just going to do this for myself. I kind of got the basement lab finally set up. So it's time. And this is just for me. This isn't a work thing. This is a fun thing. All right, look at that. Look how sexy that is. That is the biz right there. Let me put these bearings back in because I think it's going to be a little while before I have to mess with those again. It's weird that I only have 3 left. Thanks, John. Thanks, John. I'm very excited about it. I'm very happy about the Prusa partnership. I think it will do great things for Printed Solid. And I think it will do even better things for Prusa. So it's exciting times. Well, that is just like that's going to be a lot of work. So there's my B drive. There's my A drive. And then for all intents, that should be you get to see this me looking hard at the pictures, trying to figure out what's going to be the right orientation for everything. So that would make it that way. This should make it sit back. So that goes out there. That goes out there. Like that, right? Yes. There we go. That is how it's all going to go down. And then I got a few extra assemblies in the middle to figure out. All right. Just want to make sure I had all the parts in the right orientation. So I'm going to set them all up here for now and get them out of the way. Good. You are absolutely right. It was a great way for them to get into the American educational system. LDO uses the 2-hole version of the cable chain holders. Just want to make sure I got the right versions before I go crazy on it. And now, a couple of heat sets. Just like that. Yeah, I'm glad your schools are working out for you. Your school and the printers you got, that's awesome. There we go. Give you a cute little overhead, it's a little bit better. All right, the absolute shortest extrusion right there. Well, that depends on how you look at the hard work. I do all of the annoying paperwork. Joe gets to play with all the fun stuff. So, he gets to sit there and be like, hey, here's the new toys. We'll play with this. Here's the new toys. And I'm sitting there going, hey, I've just optimized the accounting software to pay the taxes for Utah automatically. And the, hey, I just finished all the vendor registrations for the state of Illinois. Stuff like that. Joe gets to sit over there and he goes, hey, I just got an entire new assembly line set up here. And I get to wire it up all night long. And I'm like, oh, that's what I want to do. I have one worker. He's the guy that makes my enclosures. And, I have to tell him on a regular basis. I sit there and I go, I kind of wish I had your job. Because he spends all day just running the CNC machines and the lasers and, all that type of stuff. So I have job envy sometimes. There we go. Well, move on down. Delaware's a cheap state. I'll put you to work. Oh, yeah, we'll make you sweep floors. It'll be fine. All right, I need M510s. There they are, M510s. I already had them broken out. It used to line up when I slide it in. I only have 2 extrusion lines for now. My biggest problem with extrusion lines is space. I'm already running low on space. Extrusion lines take up a lot more room than you can imagine. Because people tend to forget. Sure, an extrusion line is 50 foot wide, so you need a room that's 50 foot long, give or take at least 60 foot long. You need a little room at the other end. And then you need it to be about 20 foot wide to host all the machinery for it. Then you have to have a warehouse to get all of the pellets that come in from the individual manufacturers. And then you have to have an entire section for the dryers, an entire section for the colorants, entire section for boxing and supplies. It is amazing how fast a single extrusion line will take up the space. A single extrusion line, if I was running that, I think at a bare minimum, you should plan on at least 2,000 square feet of warehouse space. Now, and Andy Rogers, yes, I am sick of that question because I promise I'm trying to do my best, but there's a lot of factors that is making it really hard to get Elixir online. I'm trying. There's no update. There's a lot of logistical, there's a lot of supply, and a lot of personnel problems right now. Once those get worked out, then yes, we will be able to do Elixir. But until then, it is just a rough road. And I'm trying, I swear. I'm trying. That's the other thing, is I'm trying not to rush the release. I want to make sure that I have the process exactly right. Because yes, while I bought the recipe, it's like a chef buying a recipe. You still have to make the dish a few times. There we go. Now that'll slide in there. Look at that. Coming along. Me too. She's gone through surgery. She's gone through surgery, so fingers crossed. and hopefully she can come back, but it's still going to be a few months for her to get back in on board. So your answer, will Elixir be available in ABS and ASA? Here's the problem with that. ABS and ASA, you can't do it. The silk look is a trick of contaminating PLA only. So ABS does not have, it's not possible to silkerize it is. So sorry, Charlie, not going to happen. It's a recipe that is just not technically possible at this time. The science is not out there. I've talked to material houses and I've talked to coloring houses and I've shown them how I make the silks, and they look at me and they're going, "You're doing what? How dare you?" Because it's not technically supposed to be done that way. So yeah. I'll set that there, and those there, because I got a lot of work to do. I got to drop in a bunch of T-nuts. It's T-nut time. T-nut time. It's like peanut butter jelly time, but with T-nuts. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? There's your 90s flashback for the day. Remember when the internet was a simpler time? No social media junk. All right. I get to do the MG9 rails. That's good. I'm getting close to getting done with the rails, which I have to admit is one of the more annoying parts of assembly, is mounting all the rails and everything. I just never liked that part. It's just no fun. It's just extra work. All right, have fun, John. Thanks for stopping by. Now, these are M38s, which I think I already broke out, didn't I? Yeah, these are all the M38s here. Let's get the first one going. And they want it to be 25 millimeters from the end. So Let's get that 25 that they so desperately want. Wow, I totally eyeballed that, and I was maybe a half of a millimeter off. That is impressive, David. You are good. Just going for perfection. All right. Now let's clamp down this side. And let's try and get some holes lined up. All right. I think I got it. They all look good to me. All right. Now we'll drop them in. I will probably do, I'll probably be streaming for a while more today, and then I'll do probably late afternoon stream tomorrow. Since it's Labor Day and the shop is closed. See how far I can get this Labor Day weekend on this build. So be sure to click that like and subscribe button so that you'll be notified. But the real reason why you never really hear me say hit that like and subscribe button every 5 minutes like every other YouTuber out there is pretty simple. This channel is not monetized. I ain't making no money off of this. I feel that it could lead to a potential conflict of interest problem. So I just don't do that. I leave that up to everybody else out there. Nice, yeah. You're my loyal stalker, John. You're always there watching me. I always feel like John is watching me. Who put this stream on me? Thank you. Thank you. I'm here all week. Tried to veal. Nine, 10. All right. Let's do this. Rail number 2. Come on, get in there. There we go. Alrighty. Let's do some rough eyeballing here. And get all these little T-nuts right into view. All right. Now, a little bit of screwing around. Let's go back. Get my 25. Got a lot of wiggle waggle here, so let me correct it up some. Make sure that it is just beautiful. Yep. Let me set the other end down here. Now, let's set all the screw holes. All right. Work our way down. Nice thing is that after this, I only got one linear rail. For the whole kit, so it should make things a lot easier. All right. Screw, 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 screw. Getting there, getting there. Gonna have the gantry here in a second. We will get there. There we go. Last little screw for these rails. All right, all done. Now, let's move on to the next step. All right, now I want me to flip it over and put in the M5 T-nuts. M5 T-nut, M5 T-nut, right? Come on, there we go. Gotta make sure you snip in right. There we go. Getting there, getting there, getting there. I think I'm getting close on some real gantry assembly. And it gives you a real idea of how everything's going to work. There we go. Good, good, good. All right. Now, flip it over. And this is where it gets tricky because they want an M3 nut towards the inside, facing out. Get in there. And then they want an M5 in front of that. That is one of those little things that if you weren't paying really close attention to the instructions, you would miss. Because they even put a highlight in there to warn you about that. But people that just kind of got into a groove are going to miss that. It's a real fine detail. Something going on here and it's getting caught. Give me a second to find out what's going on. Let's just see something. Oh, that's really getting caught. So where's the problem? Let me try another nut in there. Wow, they did not give any room for compromise, did they? But why is it? They're relying on the nut to slide underneath, and for some reason this rail doesn't let anything slide underneath. Let me see if I can find out why. You know what? I think I know what the problem is. I think there's only one way to fix it. I think, and there wasn't a really good note on this, so I'm going to take 5% responsibility. But this T-nut, the very outside, has to be the other direction. To make enough room Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. I solved it. So one of the little T-nuts or roll-in nuts, and but at the very start needs to be flipped the opposite direction because they rely heavily on the little end roll-in nuts to slide underneath that rail in order to get a flush fit. Let's make sure that I got that flush fit on everybody. Oh yeah. Now we're good. So now we're going to turn this upside down. I'm going to grab these. And this. Now it's all about finding the right orientation for everything. Make sure that I'm not completely nuts. So if I am correct, which I'm usually not, there we go. So that looks correct to me now. Which means that if it's upside down, that's correct. They overhang the ends. That is everything. All right. Just, talking it through in my head. Now I need a couple little extra plates. These are the belt tensioner plates. Got them. And some are dual 5s, some are dual 3s, and combinations thereof. Let me make sure I get all my variants over here. All right. Da-da-da-da-da-da. There's the 5.5s, 5.3, 5.5, 5.3, 5.5, 5.5, 5.3. It's 5.3s. So I feel like I'm missing one 5.5. There she is. Good. All right, got it. So that will go like that. Yeah, boy. Okay. Now I need 5/16s. Yeah, boy. Okay. Now it's all coming together. So that. Goes there. Belt to go in that later and get it all tensiony. That goes there. Grab another 5.5. That goes there. I'll tell you, so far on this build, you know, I usually have complaints about technical writing. That's just kind of, that's my one whiny thing I do a lot of. But yeah. This manual this time around, not so bad. All right, let me slow down here because. Yep. Flush against the edge, flush against the edge. Yep. Flush against the edge. Yep. Well, I am a moron. Yes, I am. Because it was supposed to be one of these for each arm and then join it to that. That is why you shouldn't rush, people. That is exactly why you should never rush. Because then that will stick in and that will mount there, and then yep. Now to be correctio, that will go over there. This will go over here. All right. I'm back on track, people. Back on track. So that's the curse with any build, you know. You're always going to be there's always the next version that's coming out. There's always the next version. And you'll never be satisfied, you know? Because you stood there and you'd be like, you know what? I just bought an iPhone last year. Why do they have making another one this year, you know? Or any combination thereof. It's just, it sucks. All right, M516, more of those bad boys. Belt facing outward. All right. There we go. Correct so far? Or so I think. I have to admit, though, the parts are fitting very nicely. I haven't had to do any drilling or reaming or burring. For the most part, everything has come together pretty smooth as far as the final part configuration. All right, look at that. That is a gantry. You know, that tends to happen. It takes a little while for stuff to catch on. And I think the problem with the dismissal problem is there is just a lot going on out there. And I think a lot of people, if they kind of paid attention to everything, nothing would ever get done. So that might be part of it. But there's a great satisfaction of when you make the right bet. You know what I mean? When you make the right bet, there's great satisfaction in that. Did I have two sets? Did I put extra and I shouldn't have, or am I supposed to have extra? I guess I'll find out in a bit. M540 socket heads. Alrighty, so I'm going to need those back. I'll be finishing these off right now. But I need those cute little caps there. One more part. Where are you? There you are. Look at all those pieces. All right. So they want that part there. And that part there. And I say that that is going to join up. Yeah, I'm noticing that. We're getting a lot of retro printers. And, you know, me being a retro computer guy, I'll be kind of sitting there going, yeah, sure, why not? But then I have the horrible part of I have to kind of sit there and go, 3D printing isn't old enough to have a retro section yet. Give it another 5 years. All right. Now that there. Not there. All right. I'm getting somewhere. Now let's capture that. Okay. I'll buy that for $1. Get that nut set in there a little bit better. There. All right. That is an idler as they see it. Now I need those other pulleys. So this is supposed to be a 20-tooth idler. There we go. And I hate that it's like, oh, just drop off the nuts. With that orientation. This is in the very front hole. M540 socket head. We'll tap into plastic. Funny, but okay. And then get other two holes get in 540s as well. All right. It's all about understanding what's going on here. It's all about the process. Let's crank this down a little bit. Good. Put the other nut in, and we'll crank that down a little bit. There we go. There is the idlers, or the right XY joint. Now we're going to work on the left XY joint. Now I already burnt that one. This one has the cable chase, so this one should be, yes. These are the two pieces I'm working on. These are alienated for now. So they want me to put an M540. I guess like that. That's kind of funny. And we'll do a stack. Just like that. There's my stack. And then they say this should set down, but how should it set down? I'm going to guess no. Yes, there we go. That looks like that fits. And now we'll tighten that up a wee bit. That's not really going to matter because ultimately that's free floating. Okay. Now from the very front, I might as well throw in this idler since I'm here. And I pretty much guarantee this is another, yep, this is another straight into plastic. There we go. And then it wants the other two, which are what's going to really hold this thing together. Fair enough. Fair enough. I see where they're going. All right. Not bad. There we go. There's the other side. I'm just browsing ahead on some stuff. I think I accidentally printed too many parts. That's okay. Nothing major. I just don't need these. All right, 1 second. Get out of there. I don't need you no more. There we go. So I'm going to throw these extras. I did go a little bit hog wild while I was 3D printing parts. So I ended up with extras of a lot of stuff. But that's okay. I'm going to set that out of the way. Because up next is my last rail. It will really make it come as a shape. So that'll mount right there like a bad boy. I need to get the right tool for this. I believe these are the right ones. Let's make sure I'm not nuts. Yep, that's the right ones. So I got my auto centering. Need to get M3 T-nuts. That's fine. And I want 15 millimeters off the side, so it's just going to be dead center and call it a day. Okay. Let's get back to it. Well, you know, I have an entire warehouse of parts, so technically I can just keep building. But you know, if I'm the guy that's always building stuff, then I won't have anything to sell. And then that would just be what they call bad business. And that's just not me. All right. Let's keep her going. Keep it going. All right. Now, let's loosely line up what I need. Ah, don't need as many. That's cool. All right. Now this is using M3/8 again. Let me first center up. All right. That looks good enough for center, and then I'll center it when I get all the final screws in place. And we're getting there. Making progress. This is the last bolt in a rail onto extrusion that I have to do for this project. All right, I'll sit down for this last part. Where are my calipers? They were just here. They're gonna jump up and bite me in a second. Yes, because they're sitting there. I was looking for these. All right. Let's set that spacing. Damn. I'm good. I mean, zero wiggle on that one. Work my way down. Work my way down. Feels good. All right. That means I can finally get rid of these little tools. How nice is that? Now lay this on its side. And I need to put some M5 T-nuts in. Just like that. And let me verify orientation. There we go. And then from the other side, it only wants one M5 T-nut on each side. All right. Good, good, good. Now, they want me to mount like that, which would make sense. That makes sense to me. In fact, I'm going to double check. I'm going to loosen this up just a slight smidge because I feel like, yeah, there we go. Perfection is important. Now I'm trying to figure out why the other computer monitor flaked. Hopefully that didn't kill the stream. But let's see. Yep, I think we're okay. Yep, the computer was acting a little bit funky, but that looks right. Just like that. Now this will sit just like that and gets M516s. So I can go ahead and drop those in. Easy, easy, easy. This works. This gets M510s over here with nothing else. Easy, easy. Simple. And flip it upside down. M530. You need two of those. And a shim. Go in there. Hate when I grab the wrong ones. 3 tries in a row. There we go. M530 and a shim. Set it right there. Look at that. That's gold. Orientation, yes. Now this is where it gets tricky. because I need to move this out of the way. This gets laid upside down here. And now this making sure I'm not cray-cray. I'll come back to that in a second. M316s. Did I pull those out? Yes, I did. Now for this side, only 2 bolts for now. I like that they put a note in there that would stop somebody like me from going, I'm just going to put all 4 bolts in. They're like, nope, nope. Leave the other 2 out. We know there's a spot for it. Just leave them out. Trust us. Now, let's see how this looks now, shall we? Oh, yeah. Seems springy, so I think I got a problem somewhere, but I'll sort this out in a little bit. Probably just not set in deep enough. So I'm going to flip this over for now. And I'm going to do a little bit of troubleshooting because it's bouncing a little highish, or it's spreading out too much is its problem. The question is, how much is it spreading out? Is it a problem? Yeah, see, that's spreading. So I think there is a little bit of a gap somewhere that needs to be corrected. All right. Now that I got that, let's loosen that underside as well. Let's see where the problem is. Let's see. Maybe the problem is elsewhere. Let's try again. See, I don't like that. That's a problem. I don't know why it's doing that. I mean, there's an easy way to fix it, but I feel like something else is going on. I guess if, I mean, once you get it assembled, there's going to be lots of adjusting anyway, but I just kind of want to adjust this now. So the problem is that it kind of splits the gantry and pushes it open as it reaches the bottom here. And my thought is that I'm just going to square up a little bit at the bottom and put a little bit of spacing behind the extrusion. And then I will rely on final testing to square everything up. That is better. And let's see where it sits when this is all said and done. Little bit of a space there, but that can be corrected later. Assuming that everything else is right. But now it moves. It moves like Jagger. It's got the moves like Jagger. The moves like Jagger. So far, not too bad. I got a little funkiness with the gantry, but I think I can get past that for now. And then I'll solve that later when the problem comes up. Ooh. Stand by. Make sure I got all the parts. I got Z bearing blocks. So far, so good. Those look right and not right all at the same time. They're good enough, I think. That may look a little bit harder. All right, I think I'm okay. Yeah, all right, I see where my delusions was. But hey, Bomb, how you doing? I'm on page 111. Almost halfway mark. So before I jump on to the rest of this fun, which is going to be belt threading, I'm going to take a quick recess and then come back and work on more belt. We'll belt it out. How's that? Does that work? Is that a good pun? We'll just belt along. So, all right. I will be back in 4, 5, 6. I don't know. Of course, the puns over at Brian's place, you know, they'd have to be kind of punny. Ba-da-ba-ba. Thank you. I'm here all week. Not the deal. All righty. Now we're moving on to the z-axis, page 110, which is just nuts. I don't care about those. Now, of course, now once we work on belts, and it says for the 350 spec, I need 1,200 millimeters of belt. So what I'm going to do is just to make sure I got enough belt. I'll measure the belt I have just so I don't start cutting like a madman. Because that would just be wrong. Hold it on my teeth for a second, don't mind me. There we go. And let's just make sure that I got enough belt. Oh yeah, plenty. Plenty. So for the 350, it wants 1,200 millimeters. There is 1,200. 50. So I'm going to cut right smack dab there. That will give me enough. So that is 1,200 millimeters if I am correct. Yep, that makes sense. And LDO even gave a little bit extra. Almost enough for a whole other one. I should have cut a little extra, but that's okay. I'll throw that on my junk pile. There's my belts. There's my other belt. Thank you. There's a pun you weren't expecting today. All righty. There's a block there. There's the block there. All right. And so it wants me to lay it towards the inside. Kind of like that, okay. And then I'll put the big old block right on top with the nut as a capture. Okay. I'm figuring it out. Let you guys look down so you can see what I'm talking about. M530 button head. M530. And then an N330 socket head. There we go. So now the sandwich is that. Plus that. Into that. That is what I am looking at. And then that all the way through. All right. That looks correct to me. So let's do the other side. So let's prep the stack. 530, 530, M5 nut. Just like that. Just like that. Come on. Push through. Push through. You can do it. All right, fine. All right. Good, good, good. Nut is captured. Take this belt here. Drop it in. Tighten it down. It's sitting in the grooves just fine. Let me do this just to get a little more torque. Why did you miss it? Not threading in. That screw or that offset has slipped for some reason. Slide it out and find out why. I thought I'd lined up that hole, but I guess I missed it. All right. There's that one. Let's try that again, shall we? Let's get that down. Get that belt in. Get that nice bit of torque on there. Get that nice bit of torque on there. That's beautiful. Hey, Non. There we go. I'll spin this around. And I got 2 more blocks to go. All righty. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Now we'll put that on. Put that on. Slide that through. Work on this block. Now what's got me, I'm going to assume that it's the same pattern. They don't talk about it, but I'm going to assume it's the same pattern. That just seems wrong. You know what? There's a 50-50 shot. So I'm going to assume that it's fine. Trying to figure out which side the belts are supposed to come off on. I just didn't see it documented very well anywhere. I saw one photo reference. And it's just making me scream, that's not right. That can't be right. That's not right. But if it's not right, we'll find out. It's only a few screws. It's not like it's going to be glued or anything, so I can change it if I'm right or wrong. It could also be that it's upside down and it's making me flip stuff around in my head. But we will find out. We sure will. All right. I wasn't sure which side the belts were supposed to come out on, so. This way we'll know. Now, of course, yep, this one is wrong, but that's okay. You live, you learn, you laugh. But now what I'm doing is I'm going to swap it out because there's an ability to add a Hall effect sensor, and I found my one printout for that. So I feel obligated that I should just go ahead and pop that on while I'm here. Because the instructions do mention it. All right, last piece of belt. Where are you? Yep, here's the last one. And that will go over here. And now, tighten this down. Yeah, it won't be long. We're going to start to see some good work here. I'll be able to hang this gantry inside the printer. And then it'll have its kind of a general shape. It'll start to look like the finished printer. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Thanks, Bad Monkey. Aren't you building one too lately? Yes, I found that exact same problem already before I even got that far. Look at those belts. It's a hangy. All right, it's time to throw this bad boy in there. First, I'm going to turn this way. Let's see, what's a good shot of that so you guys can see? Oh, there's my beautiful self mug. All right. Stuff just falling off the table. Let me get this cable or belt management a little bit. I'm going to toss that in the center. Toss that in the center for now. Center. Center. Yep. I'm getting there. But the question is, after you set it in there, that's what I thought. There's some weird, funky. Okay, fair enough. I have, though, in my possession, some extra zip ties to do exactly what they are prescribing. Which is they want me to hang the gantry a little bit. And this is a 350, so it's going to be a bit of work. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it from the rear. Yeah. And I'm going to do this first. And that's going to take 3 long zip ties. To do what they're asking. Yeah, it'll work. 3 zip ties is the secret number. Kim, free up a little bit. Help a brother out. We'll sneak over here, just outside of camera view. To get side number 3 supported and up and out of the way. There we go. Look at that. Damn it, kid, stop making so much sense. Gravity is just, a part of life. All right. Let's find these little blocks. one more. Where are you? One more. There it is. See, if it was a snake, it would have bit me. Now I need M540s. I got exactly 4 of those left. Okay. I can tell I'm getting close to the end because I'm starting to empty out bags of hardware. I need M320s. Thought I broke those out. Yeah, M320s right there. And I'm going to need so many of those that I am just going to dump them all out. M320s, and it's all marked up. Now, what they want from me. Okay, I see where they're going with that. So now what I'm going to do is prep these little blocks, and these blocks will go on the rails, and then the gantry just mates up to that. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. All right. See, when I was a kid, they promised me moon bases there, Kit. And you're right. Where's my damn moon bases? You're letting me down there, NASA. All I ever got was space ice cream and moon shoes. Very disappointed. Let's get these blocks going. Come on. There's gonna be a lot of screws here. Damn it. Spinning there. Da, 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 da. Getting there, getting there. All righty. And there's number 3. Coming soon, number 4. All right. Number 4. All right, now I can start attaching them. are attached in these little blocks, which will meet up. And it'll all be good. Alrighty. Making progress. Get these all in there. Next, I'll put the keyboard over here for just a second so I can spin this all around. Yep. Printer's starting to get heavy. Find myself actually having to start to grunt as I lift and turn it and move it around. You know, you're the second person to say leave the bed out, but I was like, the instructions, they swore you got to put the bed in at this step. Why can't I do that? So I followed the instructions. I said, put the bed in then. It's like, all right. If you say so, Mr. Voron. Whoops. All right. All forward there. Now, all right, leave that a little bit loose. All right, looking good. Fair enough. See, Ken, and you're saying the exact same thing everyone else said. I just followed the instruction, and they were like, mount the bed. And I said, okay. I don't blame you, TC. I think Steve's more entertained than I am. But, hey, making progress. Look at that. I'm getting there. All right. How am I doing? Looking good. All four, they're on the rails. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. All right, now it says undo the top belt clamps. We'll be installing the belts in the next step. Extend the idler, which I already did. Loosen the idler. And let's go for the belt path, shall we? And let's see if my hunch is right or wrong. All right. Now, let's come up the other side. Beautiful. Look at that. Feed it down. That's like butter. Look at that. That's how the belt's supposed to be done. Okay. I'm not going to argue with it. That's impressive. I like that. All right. Around that one. I see we're going with this. Beautiful. Look at that. It's like it was intended to do it this way. Now, does that seem right? Yeah, that's a straight path. And that means that the straight path is going to be out. Okay, okay. You guys get the insights on seeing how I work, where I sit there and I'm trying to stitch together everything that's going on. I'm like, okay, that's what they meant. Okay, I see what they're going for. I go, okay. Tighten down the belt. That's a thing of beauty. Damn, I don't even have to tension. I'm just getting it tight as hell. I mean, yeah, I'll still tension it, but the fact that I'm getting it tensioned before I have to actually tension it is very important. Because then that means that over time, as the belt stretches, just through age and stuff, I will be able to come back and correct it and tension it and fix it as time progresses. And all I got to do is just make darn sure I get every tooth I can out of it. I left this one too loose. Give me a second as I put this tensioner back in. All right. Let's try that again. There we go. Now run that belt in through. All right. Tighten the belt. Beautiful. And that's before tensioning, baby. Get this last couple in. Come on now. You can do it. Normally you just pull on the motor since it's not plugged in electronics or anything. It doesn't really matter. But since this is geared down, it's got a lot of torque. And that would be a pain in the ass to pull against. So I'm just not going to do that. Force the belt over the teeth or around the teeth rather than through the teeth. All right. Look at this. It's gorgeous. I'm the greatest 3D printer alive. All right. All right. One more belt for the Z. That's good. By the way, anyone who was paying attention and heard my confusion about the belts when I was which side to clamp on, what it was is that in the instruction sheet, they never really mentioned which side to pull it off of, but there was one photo that had it. And in my head, it seemed counterintuitive to go that way, but I followed and trusted the photo, and it worked out. It didn't seem right to me, but then after I installed it, I was like, oh no, that's the right way. All right. Now let's get that little belty belt in there. All right. Lock that in. Okay. Now, in a perfect world, boom shaka. Yeah, boy. Look at that. How pretty is that now, huh? It's beautiful. I don't need that anymore. Drop this over in the junk pile. All right. I feel pretty good, guys. That brings me up to page 124. Yeah, I'm doing the afterburner upgrade on it. And I think I'm doing the Omron Pro. I think that's what's included, so I think that's what I'm going to do. But I haven't thought that far ahead. I'm trying real hard to do it as, practical everything as I can. But next up will be the AB belts. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream for a couple of hours. I'm going to go have some dinner. And I will then come back and start up again. So I will probably have another stream starting around 8 p.m. tonight. Do a little bit more and see how far I get tonight. But it's rolling smooth. And I think it's just a little more work, not too far off. I won't be, it'll be, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. We're getting there. Almost halfway through. All right. I will see you guys in a bit. Have fun. And then I'll start up part 3.